Welcome to another beautiful day on planet Earth and another day of Dose of Did You Know, where intriguing, inspiring, unique individuals come to talk about how love and life brought them all the way to where they are today. And with me is Clayton Q. And thank God you go by Clayton Q, because I looked at your last name and I was like, huh, that is never coming out of this mouth correctly. So how are you today?
I am doing good, Danielle. How are you?
I am doing great. But actually say your last name because I want to hear you say it.
Quisenberry.
Oh, well, that's not that
Clayton
hard.
Quisenberry. No, I learned how to spell it like Mickey Mouse when I was younger. Quisenberry. See? Pretty
Oh my
easy.
gosh. I had a song for my last name. My last name was Detilio, and I would sing how to spell it because I would get confused with the L's and the I's and everything.
Yeah.
We're kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Ah,
Sing your
mine
last
wasn't
name.
as good as yours, hence why I'm not a singer and you are. Mine was Catilio.
All right.
Bippity boppity boo kind of thing. Before we get going, tell the world a little bit about who Clayton Q is, because you're pretty cool. You've done some cool things.
Man, I really appreciate it. This started way back playing music with my family when I was real young, 5, 6 years old. Every holiday and Christmas, 4th of July, any excuse my family could have to everyone get together or just randomly gather around my grandma in the middle of her living room, and everyone would play banjos and guitars and dulcimer, and really inbred that in my roots growing up. And that's a lot of who I am today. I've been living in Nashville 16 years. I'm from Western Kentucky. Dawson Springs, Kentucky is where I went to high school. Real small town. It's a half square mile.
That's
In
small.
high school, played at a local place for tips, and played at my uncle's barber shop after school, and came to Nashville 16 years ago. And most people would say I never looked back, but I go back to my hometown quite often because I have a lot of family there and a big fan base there also. So,
Yeah. It's
but
like your roots are there, you know?
yeah, my
Yeah.
stomping ground. This is my stomping ground, as people say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like a natural thing? Well, okay, first of all, you're living my father's dream. He was a musician. My brother was a musician. They tried to make me one, and I played the flute, and I was just like, oh, the spit comes out the end. I just didn't like it. Maybe they started me with the wrong instrument. It was gross to me. But that's what he always wanted, was to like play with the whole family and sing and do these things. We did not get into it. So you're living out family dreams here. Um,
Well,
but is that just like a natural thing that you had this, like, were you, not a natural thing, but were you pushed to go to Nashville and start this? Or was this like always like part of the family, but you like bought in, it became you and your soul?
yeah. Yeah, most definitely. My parents, I'm an only child. My parents are very supportive of anything that I want to do. But I said, hey, I want to go to Music City, and I want to work in music, and I want to try to make something of myself as an artist. And my family totally supported me. They said, whatever we can do to help you. So help you in your dreams. And
Right.
that really, I carry that in my heart all the time.
Yeah, that is like blind, complete faith. Because, I mean, maybe they had fear like, oh, this is going to be really hard, but they didn't portray their own fear onto you. And that's a hard thing as a parent. But that had to give you some sort of little extra boost of confidence or.
Yeah, yep. Absolutely it did. And, I came to Nashville to college to also get an education as well,
Mhm.
so that I could work while I was progressing in my career, which everyone has to do. If you don't, you got $1 million already to, you know. But I worked throughout my music career also, and coming with my parents supporting me, not it's supporting me like emotional support, like, hey, we want you to do whatever makes you happy,
Mm.
and music makes me happy. So my parents said, hey, go to Nashville, we want you to do that.
Yeah. Isn't that something when you are doing something that really makes you happy? All the other stuff that you might have to do to pay the bills or just, the adulting, I like all the adulting stuff that sometimes just is boring and
Yeah.
not fun, like going to the grocery store or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I hate the grocery store, so I always got to throw that in there. It's like my goodness.
Order online. You could order online.
I found a place locally. It's like a little grocer. It's veteran owned, and I can walk across the street to it. So it's like I have my little community. So now it makes going and buying like my fish and whatever not so painful. So I found my happiness in my grocery store. But back to you is that happiness inside you. It must like just fuel you. But how do you stay in that happiness when it's really hard? Like what you want is really hard. Like playing music is easy and it brings you that joy and keeps you going. But actually doing something with it is really hard. So how do you separate like not feeling like a failure, but doing your passion during those times? Because you don't wake up one day and you're just successful like you are. I mean,
Well, I appreciate that. You know, that they say, it takes 20 years for an overnight success. So yeah, it is difficult, but there's been some ups and downs. And then at some point in my career, I realized that everyone's path to success is different. Everyone's definition of success is different compared to where I started at day one. Now, I would say, yeah, some of my first performances were in high school. And then I came to Nashville, and I discovered over the years, I've been discovering who I am as a person, who I am as an artist, growing more self-development every day. And comparing to how I've even started most recently, within the last 5 years, I finally developed my core band. And starting day one, four people, playing inside my home-built studio garage band, excuse me, and playing at a few local places around Nashville to fast forward 5 years. Last year we opened up for Hunter Hayes on one of his shows, and there's 20,000 people there. And to start from a garage and then play for 20,000 people, it was on the Fort Campbell MWR tour. And I mean, that's success to me.
Yeah.
It has nothing, and it has really nothing to do with your finances, no record deal. I'm independent. I'm 16 years into Nashville. I've been independent this entire time. And the success that I've had is just through perseverance and going out and doing it.
Yeah.
You can't do whatever you want. If you want to sit at home, that's fine. But if you want to do something in music, you just got to go out and do it, just like anything in life.
Yeah. I just wrote about that today, was that, it was about like visualization. And so there's so many people that have their opinion on visualizing. Like some people are like, you have to be so detailed in what you visualize so you achieve that. And then other people's philosophy is, don't limit yourself to what only you think you need, be more vague, but have a habit. And sometimes you listen to these people and they can make you walk away being like, crap, I'm doing this all wrong. Because they're putting their opinions on you. But I believe you have to visualize because you got to know where you're going, right? If you don't know what you want, you're just going to kind of circle and do nothing. But the thing that you said, and I believe so much, is that you have to do something after you see what you want or feel what you want. You have to place that action. So whether that action means that you fail because you had to fail to succeed, or it's such a slow process that you don't even know that you're kind of moving into it. But the key and the secret sauce is you got to just move. You got to
do it to figure it out. I saw something the other day that I really liked a lot, and it said, not many good decisions were ever made unless the bad one was made first.
Mm.
Make a bad decision, you learn about how to make a good decision.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we get luck of the draw and we make a choice and we're like, oh, that was a lesson learned and it worked out well.
Right.
But you're right. The majority of the time it does. And I love about you how you talked about how you had to develop who you are. Probably, I'm guessing if you didn't go through that and every day, even today, develop more of who you are, because you're constantly changing, hopefully, and evolving, that the success you have would never have come, because you wouldn't, that success is directly reflected to the energy that you have inside yourself. So very cool and emotionally intelligent of you to be like, I gotta start here if I want it out there.
Right.
Were you like, was that part of your family, or is that something that, I don't know, I think some people just find it easier than other people. It comes more natural to like inwardly look and want to evolve. Do you think it's just something naturally in you, or where did it come from for like that self-realization or self-development?
Most definitely my father. My father is a preacher. I'm a preacher's kid and an only child, so watch out.
You're like all of those things. Are there some Mythbusters we can do later? You know, like in a couple of days when I see you in person, I'll be like, all right, tell me, is this true or not? I'm going to Google all the things about an only child from a preacher.
Yeah. They say we're the worst. They say preacher's kid, the only children are the worst.
Yeah.
But I turned out all right.
You turned out okay.
And my family definitely instilled that in me too.
Yeah. I think probably because that instilling those values, but then also giving you the free will and support to go along with like implementing the values. Because sometimes you want your offspring to be so perfect, but you forget they have to learn along the way to get through that. Right. That's probably where all those talk of, you know, they forgot that lesson themselves. So letting the free will of their children and learn from that. What would you say is your biggest success? Because I love how you were talking about success isn't money. It's not this, it's not that. It's really what you believe in it. So what is like Clayton Q's, one of them? I'm sure you have many, but what do you feel is a big success for you?
You know, I'm 35 and I've never tasted alcohol and I've never done any drugs in my entire life. Shoot. And I feel that's a huge success in the music industry because I've met so many people and know so many people that, you know, participate in drugs and alcohol. And I'm not a judgmental person. I love everyone just as my father and my mother instilled in me to do. But I chose for it to be something that I never wanted to do. And I haven't met very many people that are completely sober like myself.
No. What was it? Did you just want the clarity in your mind to never be fogged? Or did you just see things that you're like, ooh, I don't want to go there? Like, what gave you that? Like, that's a big, like, I'm not doing this for me.
Well, I was raised in a non-drinking home, in a non-drug using home. And you know, when you're younger, your parents won't let you go to a party. You're like, oh, this sucks. You know, my parents don't know anything. You know, I went through adolescent changes just like anyone else. And then the party that I didn't go to, you know, somebody ended up drinking and driving and dying that I may have rode with because I didn't have my license yet for, you know, my parents, that reason, they didn't want me to go out and get my license to be, maybe I was driving, maybe I would have been driving someone else that had something bad. Maybe somebody would have driven my car or something. But after seeing, okay, when I'm younger, okay, my parents know what they're talking about. You know, I need to pay attention to them. And then when I got older and away and on my own, being in music, I've been offered tons of free alcohol and celebrities offered me shots with them at the bar and, hey, smoke this with whomever. And I turned it down and stayed true to who I wanted to be and demanded respect from that. And people respected me. I said, hey, I respect you for not doing that. That's who you are.
Yeah.
And
Standing up.
I had a superstar kick me out of his nightclub for turning down a shot that he offered me. And when I got down to the first floor, his security come and got me and said, "Hey, he wants to see you." I'm not mentioning any names, but when I got back to where he was at the bar, he said, "No, most people never tell me no, and the fact that you stuck to your roots, that you're the kind of person that I need around me." And that really worked in my favor in not drinking, not being like, "Yeah, sure, I'm drinking with whoever," because then I would be like everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, that goes back to me what I said. Everyone has their own path to success.
Right. That is sticking to your trueness. And gosh, when I'm sitting here listening to him, like, how simple is it? We do it all the time. And I'm like one to blame 100%. You put yourself in these situations that probably percentage wise is not going to have a very good outcome, right? Like when you drink, like I drink, I love wine. I'm not going to, this is
hey, you love it. That's great.
But you can see, like, when you go out, very simple. If you don't want to, it's kind of like what I tell my children, you're in the same situations. What's the one common denominator? You, right? So
Right.
You have it very simple. If you see something that is a path and a lifestyle or a piece of a life that you don't want, you just simply took it out of you, and then you just stand to your morals on it. Whew, you are a strong man.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, because temptation is everywhere. And especially, I feel like just as simple as drinking, like, oh, it's just a glass of wine, or it's this, or it's a celebrity, giving you something and then rejecting you, basically. Coming back to their senses, good for them. You probably made an impact on their life more than you realize, obviously, because they brought you back up. But you just went into another category, another depth of level to the Clayton Q that is right through the show to find out what makes people tick so I can learn from them.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
So I'm very excited in just a few days that I'm going to be seeing you. We're going to be at the L United Red, White, and Ice. Cool name. I think Chris Turner made that up. Event there at the Boondocks. You're going to be jamming out. What can I expect to hear from you? Or is it a surprise?
Well, I hope that I enable people to feel what I'm feeling from the stage.
Are you going to make me cry? Because sometimes I get very emotional. And if that's now I know you and I know a little bit more that makes you tick, tears might come to my face of like good tears. Like now, yeah, that's going to happen because I can already feel it. I can already feel it. And I always speak what's on my mind. That's why I can never tell, like, people want questions and a list to this show. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to tell you. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know you. How can I give you a list of questions? Yeah. Whew. Now I'm really excited. So anybody out there that is in that Nashville can take a car and go to it's Columbia, right? I always get
Columbia, Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah, I get confused, but it's outside of Nashville. Anywho, I fly into Nashville.
South of Nashville, about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I fly into Nashville and we take a little car there and stay there. But I'm so excited to see you and what you bring and feel from the stage what is in your soul, because you are a man that I feel wears and walks what he believes and is in his heart.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on today.
I'm very excited, but before I let you go and get ready, for all your upcoming events, not just this one, but the other ones that you have coming on, I ask you that you answer this last question with the first thing that comes to your mind. You don't have to explain. You can just blurt it out. Don't overthink it. But in this moment right now, Clayton, what does love mean to you?
Love means to me putting all of your energy into what's most important to you. Making what is most important in your life a priority.
Yeah. I do think after getting to know you a little bit better that is what it means to you. I totally see that and feel that from you. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a truth. That is a truth bomb right there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And it's so good. And I'll see you in a few short days.
Yeah, see you in a few days.
At like 7, I think the doors open. Maybe I'll see you before that. I'll be there earlier. But
Okay.
I think the doors open at 7. I don't know.
I think I'm playing about 6:30. So the doors open at 6.
Then 6. See, don't ever listen to me about specifics. I suck at Pacifics.
Well, you're in Eastern time right now.
Am. Yeah.
So we're in Central time.
So
maybe it's 7:30, 6:30 Central.
Yeah, it's probably just this brain. I'm trying to remember everything, and I know my weaknesses, and time is not one of them. Time is one of my weaknesses. But to everybody else out there, remember, as always, love pure and love proactive. That is not my normal ending, and I went blank. See? I gave myself a blank moment. Love true, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time, we will see you. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you later. Thanks a lot.
Hold on.